I hope everybody's having a good time. This is Godí, and you're watching the Tea Behind the Music. So the song that I chose for this week is called "Love Me," and the reason why I chose is because it's very personal to me. I love the song. One of the reasons why I love the song is because it's a yearly reminder to me to one, love myself. Number two, not give so much of myself away to just try to find love. And it really makes you think in the sense of what does it really mean to love yourself, and why is it so easy to love other people than it is to love ourselves. Like, even though the topic of the song is about loving yourself, for me it's more the relationship that you have with yourself in the past, present, and the future, and how you constantly have to be reminded to love yourself, and constantly have to look within yourself and see, like, why am I not listening to myself? Why am I not, like, putting myself first? Why am I putting everybody else over me just because I want them to love me back and show me the love that I'm not giving myself? Because if I'm going out to somebody and I'm asking them for love, to me that means I need love. I can't give myself love right now. I need you to give it to me. And that's a lot of pressure to put onto people, because people's love languages are all different. Like, my love language is physical touch and time spent. So for me to require that of somebody else and try to force them to like me, and even if I don't realize that I'm doing it, baby, that can get you in a lot of trouble. And on top of that, it's not giving what you think it's giving, baby. You can't really love somebody else if you don't love yourself, because when you go out and you try to date somebody and you don't love yourself, it is really hard to see that person for who they are. You end up projecting a lot of yourself onto that person. I cannot tell you how many times I overhyped this man. All the love that I could have been given to myself, I was given to him, and then giving him all the credit for it and how he made me feel, even though it was how I was making me feel, because I put him on such a high pedestal. And it's just like, baby, Jay Gotti, why do you got to do the most when you love somebody? I have previously mentioned in the past that I have always put myself aside to lift everybody else up above me so that we can all thrive and get each other up, and I'd always end up getting the short end of the stick. And I want to get into it because it ties into the not loving yourself thing. So for me, not loving myself meant I would put my needs before anybody else. I'd always just given and given and given, because I didn't love myself. I didn't take care of myself. I didn't love on myself. Everything that I ever did, it was to make sure that everybody else was happy. Like, it really hard, because for me, I was gay since I was like 6 years old. What's crazy to me is that became such a huge part of my life at that time, because I tried so hard to change it. I was like, I just gotta become straight. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta act like this. I've always wanted to sing. I've always wanted to act. I've always wanted to be like dramatic, and I would only do those things in private, so my family didn't get to know that side of me. I did so much for everybody else to please them, to make my dad happy, to never have to let them down. I guess that's really what it was. I didn't want to let anybody down, because at that time, especially growing up in Mexico, people were not accepting of gay people. And it wasn't like, oh, you come in here. Like, I would get in trouble all the time if I did anything remotely gay in Mexico. So school was not fun for me. Let me tell you. And I wasn't getting in trouble by other kids. I was getting in trouble by adults. So if that tells you everything you need to know, hopefully things have changed by now, but baby, no. The worst part of it all is I couldn't really see myself, and me setting myself aside and pretending to be something I wasn't got me to the point where I didn't see the value in living. I didn't see the value in being here anymore. I couldn't see myself deserving to be here. I just felt like I was just taking up space. And when you're a child and you're thinking like that, it's not it's not great. It doesn't feel good, and it's hard to get out of that. I was very, very lucky that I had certain moments that saved my life. Like, for example, when I almost did something stupid. Let me get into it. A picture of my mom holding me as a baby fell on me. And that was. I'm sorry, guys. I have a hard time talking about it because I try not to talk about this part of my life. Just because it's not easy to show people a vulnerable side of you. Like I can be vulnerable in other ways, but this part is really like I take care of this part of me. I hold this part of me very close because this is my baby. I always, anytime I'm feeling down, I always go back and I kind of spiritually give myself a hug. Like I think of, I picture myself going back in time in that exact moment and giving myself the hug that I needed. And that made a huge impact. Seeing my mom holding me because I was like, she doesn't know what's going on. So for her to find me would just break her. And again, this is at that moment I didn't really save myself for me. I did it for her. And over time, once music came into my life, I started writing and learned that I could do all these things. And I finally started doing what I wanted to do for me. And that's when I started seeing the value in my own life. And music has really been that for me. It's been what's always been driving me forward. I could go through anything, baby, and the only thing that's keeping me up with a smile is music. So don't underestimate the power of loving yourself and finding that one thing that continuously keeps you grounded and reminding you of who you are. So the person that I wrote about in this song is a good friend of mine now. We stopped talking for a while just because of everything that unfolded, which I'm going to talk about. But I actually, in this song, I don't talk about one specific relationship. I have like 3 relationships in my head that I could remember that I was writing about when I made the song. The first one was somebody that I went to high school with that I had a crush on, and anytime I got to spend time with this guy, we had a good time. We played soccer together. It was a lot of fun. But there was never any romantic. I want to make this clear. There was never any romantic feelings towards each other. I mean, besides my part. Oh, he's cute. Listen, we played soccer together. He had nice thighs. I've always had a thing for thighs, and this man had the greatest fucking thighs. I don't know what they look like now. I hope they still look amazing. I won't say your name, but yes, I love your thighs. That's part of the reason why I was in love with you. Anyways, I had such a crush on this guy, and he's like, I love this team. When we used to watch soccer games, and I was like, oh, I love that team too. That's so funny. But years prior, I was like, oh, Chivas. Now America. Yeah, no, I was that kind of person at that time where I was just simulating everything he liked and liked everything he liked because I wanted him to love me back. And not only did that never happen, I embarrassed myself because one night I pulled out my Nokia phone at the time, the little brick, and I started texting him, and I was like, I love you. But he caught on to that. He actually figured it out. And he was like, did you just say you love me? And I said, maybe. And then we talked, and I was like, can you keep this a secret, please? Like, I'm not ready to tell other people. Here's where the people can't love you if you don't love yourself part. The next day, I am getting messages from my friends, and people are like, hey, this person's saying you asked them out the other day, blah, 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 blah. So I stopped talking to him because of that. I was like, damn, you actually like betrayed me. And then the worst part is I had to go back and be like, oh, my cousin, he got on my phone and he started texting. He was trying to be funny, and he did this and this and this. And then that's how I saved my ass for the rest of that high school year. It sucked. Back then, I couldn't see how I was neglecting myself because I kept trying to change myself. And like I said, now we're good friends because I'm myself. I'm not pretending to like everything he likes. And on top of that, he's always liking my stuff with my music. So that means a lot to me. Like, that honestly, that was very healing for me. That was the closure that I needed out of that situation. So thank you, sir. All right, so the lyrics that I wrote about him were, I need love and affection, but I need to give it to myself. I just want your affection. I'm doing the most, keep doing the most. Gotta love me, I need to love me. Cause that shit is free, I want to be free. I honestly love that part because it was the first time that I got to play with the vocoders, and it it just sounded magical. Like even by itself, listen to
I
this.
gotta love me, I need to love me. Cause that shit is free, I want to be free.
Ain't that beautiful? I'm like, damn. I yes, I did that. That's me, baby. I love that song, and I'm extremely grateful that I came up with that. I was able to make it happen to live. But now I want to talk about the instrumentals and how everything came together. So the way this song came about was I was listening to a song called "What About Love" by Banks. And baby, she did that. I was filing paperwork in the office that I was working at the time, and I was crying. I was in tears, just feeling all the emotions. This was like in 2019. And I love this so much. I was like singing along and like in my feelings. And there's this part with the strings that always just hits the right spot in my heart where it goes, baby, she did that. That was amazing. I was like, damn, Banks, okay, you gotta hurt my feelings like that. And I love the idea of her having it be about love, but also having her like I don't know if it was her voice. I gotta look into this. I don't know if it was her voice or different children, but it was like children laughing and stuff like that. I thought it was cute. Banks really hit me with that song, and I love the chord progression so much. I was like, at that time I couldn't find the chords, so I just played it on the piano by ear and tried to learn as much as I could. And I got the chords, saved them on my computer. And one day I was just feeling all emotional, so I took those chords back out and I just thought about my past relationships and how I felt lonely at the time. And it kept coming back to me. It's like, you gotta love yourself. You cannot expect him to love you the way that you want to be loved, because he can't do that. He doesn't know you like that. He should after a couple of years. Just kidding. But that's your own responsibility. So I had to really teach myself how to love myself all over again. And that was a way for me to talk to myself and be able to have a song where I'm constantly reminding myself, baby boy, why don't you listen? Once you hear the song, you know why I did that. On top of those chords, I also wanted to have part of Banks' song in my song. So that string section, I wanted it so bad, but I could not make it work because I couldn't get the sample right. And I was just like, you know what? It's fine. So I ended up just taking a little, like 2-second part and then turned it into a bell, added distortion, and pitched it up to go with my song. And that is the first thing you hear. So the moment the song starts, you hear the little ding, ding, which is really those strings going da, 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 da. But I couldn't make it work with that, so it's fine. The way I look at it is because she inspired me so much, I wanted to make sure I had a part of her in there, because that emotion that I felt from those strings was the leading drive to make this song feel vulnerable for me. Like, I even originally I was gonna do like a whole production thing with it and like do all the stuff, but I was like, you know what, let me just lean into the autotune and play with that so I could really sing what I'm feeling without feeling like I have to hide my feelings, because I do that a lot. Sometimes I just want to not show my feelings when I'm singing about my feelings, because I don't want people to see that I'm actually hurt. And that backfires. So I was just like, you know what? Just playing without having the autotune in the background, just as I'm recording it, just helps me relax and not take it so seriously and just be free. Another thing to add to the way this song came about was because my ex said something to me that honestly had me shook, because it was the truth. I was complimenting him a lot that day for some reason. And, well, I'll tell you the reason. And he said, stop fishing for compliments. Baby, I was. I think I did freeze in that moment, because I was not expecting him to say that. I thought he was just gonna love on me and like hug me, because the truth of the matter is I just wanted a hug. I just wanted him to kiss me, and I just wanted some affection, because I felt like we were like not in the same room. I needed affection, and I was hoping he would give that to me. more if I did it more. And listen, this was not on purpose. I genuinely like was naturally just doing these things because I didn't really know how to sit with myself. And what I really should have done is gave that love that I wanted to myself. And I wasn't doing that. I was going through some stuff around that time in my life. And honestly, I'm thankful he said that because that was the driving force of the song. So thank you. Another beautiful thing that came out of this song was I had an incredible artist hit me up on Twitter back in 2020 that heard Love Me. We all pretty much have the same friend group of artists that are on Twitter and stuff like that. That's kind of how we all met. I think we bonded over Beyonce. That sounds about accurate. Most of my bonds are about Beyonce. But he hit me up. He says, I love this song. Could I hop on this remix? And I say, yes. I sent over the files. He sent his vocals back not too long after. And then I just got to playing with the vocals. And like, listen, this man's vocals are incredible. I'm going to play you a little bit. Listen to this. Don't know what it is yet. Don't know what I did. I can't hear it now, but I'm just hearing it in my head. Seriously, his vocals are so amazing. I felt so blessed to get this from him. I was like, he ate me up on my own song. Like, that was crazy. I was like, oh, wait, don't slap me in the face like that. My favorite version of Love Me is the remix version. So check that one out with Terrence Leon. Well, one of my favorite songs by him is called Rain. But listen to this, listen to this. Just know I'm waiting for you. Yes. So we can literally, the way he hit those notes and just, oh my God. He has an incredible voice. I will always brag about him. Thank you, Terrence. Big hugs. I hope you're doing well. I hope you love Me as much as I love me. Hey, you see what I did there? And I love myself a lot, so you better love that song. Love the shit out of it. After this fun little commercial, we have some fun questions. Let's get it, baby.
2025 belongs to Jay Godí. You Don't Know Me Gold Edition. Includes the smash hit Kiss My Culo, Dreaming, plus his gay anthem, Gay Shit. Jay Godí, You Don't Know Me Gold Edition. The gift to get.
So the first question is, how do you deal with writer's block? For me, I like to take a step away. I like to go on a walk and just not think about it because I hate forcing things. It has to flow naturally for me to be invested in it and to like love it. Or another better option would be writing about your frustration that you're feeling right now. Like I literally have a song where I start with, I'm having a hard time writing this song. Because that's how I felt, and I felt so frustrated because I could not express how I felt because I didn't want to feel that way. And that's because there was something in my life that was holding me back. And I'm finally free. So over it. All I needed was to make sure that I write that song, and I mentioned that in the song as well. So yes, it's gonna be really good. I love it. I promise you're gonna love it as well. The next question is, if you got asked to perform with Beyonce, would you be ready? I believe in practicing like it's already happening, like you're like 3 weeks away from doing the performance. So yes, I have a few songs that I have lined up for what I would do. Like let's say if I got asked to open, I have 3 songs that I would perform that are ready for doing that song with Beyonce. I have a remix that I did with her, so if she brings me on stage, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for all possibilities. I have thought everything out, and every time I'm out there, I'm practicing as if it's happening, because why not? You gotta be ready. If someone puts you on the spot, you gotta be ready. Anytime I tell people I'm a music artist, I get asked to perform, and baby, I'm ready. I'm ready to get on stage. It's fun. I'm excited. I have a lot of fun things coming out for y'all, and it's something that I'm used to. And even if things flipped last minute and they're like, well, you got to learn this new song that she has and do this and this and this, I'm ready to learn. One thing that I have learned from my first ever job that I've ever had at Lowe's, shout out to Chris, my manager. He said, one most important thing you have to do about any job that you do in your life, whether it's this one or whatever you want to do, is be teachable. That also prepared me for now. So whenever that moment comes and Beyonce says, hey, Jay Godí, I need you to come lay vocals on the song, and we're gonna perform on it tomorrow. I'm gonna be like, yeah, queen. All right, cool. No worries. Nonchalant. Then I'm gonna get off the phone and be like, ah, Beyonce. Y'all know the vibes. So the next question is gonna be, why did you start the show? The main reason why I started the show is because I have spent so much of my life, as I mentioned earlier, building everybody else up around me, and I figured no one's gonna do that for me, so I'm just gonna do it myself. I got the resources, I got the skills, I am highly talented in a lot of different things. That all leads back to music. So if I'm gonna build my own stage like I've learned from Beyonce, I'm gonna do it. I'm out here at the beach. This is my stage right now. This is my life. There's gonna be a lot of symbolism in my music in the future that has to deal with this moment here. I already have stuff. Let me not get into it. I'm so excited about it. Yes. But no, it was time for me to pour back into myself and create my own stage. And also give light to those songs that I couldn't give light to back then because I didn't know what I was doing. And I truly believe that those songs deserve so much love. They're so good. I'm very proud of those songs. And I wish I could have done them justice right when they came out. But it's okay. This is a new song to everybody else. Nobody has heard it. So we're getting there. All right. So the next question is, can you belly dance? No. Younger me, however, and this is a throwback, younger me could. Because I was watching Shakira videos trying to like mimic everything she was doing and like wishing I was like in the sand, fucking throwing it all around in the mud, spinning around, trying to jump off the water, you know, whatever. And I'll tell you this story because it's so funny to me. I have an aunt that loves Shakira, and like I said, I've been practicing, and I think she saw me because she asked me about Shakira and like belly dancing. And I was like, oh, I could do belly dancing. So I wanted to show off to her, and her daughter, and my cousin. So I showed off my belly dancing moves to her, and she laughed. Yeah, no, I never did that again. I was so traumatized. I was like, oh my God, I do such a bad job. And I was really skinny at the time. So I looked like a stick that was about to break at one point. The next question is, have you listened to the deluxe edition of Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande? Next question is, as an artist, what were the benefits of you working at a nightclub? Honestly, for me, was getting to see what the DJs were playing and figuring out how I could make a club banger. And we got some coming, baby. So I got a lot of inspiration that way. Another benefit that I had out of working at a nightclub was getting the resources to be able to figure out how to talk to promoters and be able to have my own shows happen. Like my first headlining show in Los Angeles was at Mickey's, and that was literally just being able to talk and being able to build a good relationship with the manager, and it all worked out perfectly. I got my first headlining show. I got to have my own openers, and it was just amazing. I had a great time, and it's so funny. I never posted the footage. I posted a few clips, but I never posted the whole concert. So I'm gonna do that once I go back and rework everything, because there were some wardrobe malfunctions. I ended up without shoes by the end of the show. I didn't have a styling team in the back, so when it was time to switch outfits, it went downhill. But we made it work. We still gave them performance. We still gave them attitude, gave them vocals. It was a great time. I had a great time. All right, thank you for hanging out with me. I am Jay Godí, and this has been the Tea Behind the Music. Extra, as usual.